Hello everyone, the detailed spoilers for One Piece. Chapter 1159 are here. This chapter is packed with an insane amount of information and might completely change our understanding of two key characters, Rox and Teach. The chapter opens with a narration telling of an incident where Shakky was kidnapped. Her leader, Marlowe, was killed. The puppet master behind this was none other than the traitor within the Rox pirates, Wang Ji. But for the people on Fulalead Island, no one knew how any of this happened. The news of Shakky's abduction sent shockwaves across the world. The global economy even ground to a halt for several weeks. A desperate Gloriosa cried in despair. Roger furiously tore up the newspaper, and Rayleigh was filled with worry. 1 year later, we flash back to 38 years ago. Saint Garling Figureland returns to God Valley. A red-haired woman introduces him to two infants, Shanks and Shamrock. Garling is surprised to learn they are twins, calling them adorable. The woman begs Garling to stay and live with her on the island, but he coldly refuses, stating that God Valley is about to disappear. Then, in a shocking turn, Garling suddenly draws his sword and stabs the woman. As the red-haired woman collapses, Garling reveals that a suitable wife of equal status has already been chosen for him. In fact, he had placed an order to capture this woman alive. The winner of the game would have the right to marry her. This woman was Shakky. Meanwhile, a massive fleet of marine warships is arriving at the island. The residents of God Valley try to flee, unsure of what's happening, but they are blocked by the marines. One of these soldiers is a young Monkey D. Dragon. Unwilling to kill civilians, Dragon fires anesthetic rounds at those who attack him. When he questions the mission's objective, his superior officer yells at him to shut up and follow orders. The scene shifts to a marine slave ship heading for God Valley. The manager is leaking information about the tournament's prizes. Ivankov is furious that the other slaves have lost their will to fight. Meanwhile, on the other side of the hold, a young Kuma is listening to everything with a faint smile. He admires the fighting spirit that still burns within some of the slaves. This added detail makes Kuma's later decision to join Ivankov's plan much more logical. Cut to a CP intelligence office on an unknown island. A young Morgans, then president of the World Economic Journal, makes a surprise visit. Morgans tries to get the CP organization to bribe him in exchange for not publishing this intel. The CP agents threaten to eliminate him, but Morgans dares them to try. Either way, Morgans' plan is to leak the information to Fulalead Island, the home of the world's #1 troublemakers. The pirates on Fulalead, upon learning Shakky is a prize at the God Valley Arena, immediately set out to rescue her. Big Mom, however, is interested in the other prizes. She wants to get her hands on powerful devil fruits for her children. She tells Kaido that maybe he can get an interesting devil fruit ability for himself too. The scene switches to Rox, Roger, and Garp, all heading towards God Valley. On his way, Rox is intercepted by the Herald fleet sent by the world government. Nearby, world government surveillance ships watch to ensure Herald follows his orders. Rox requests to speak with Herald alone, and Herald agrees. Herald, my name contains the hidden initial D. My true name is David D. Xebec. So, Rox isn't your real name? My family, Rox continues, is one that the world government has tried to completely erase from existence for ages. We descend from the legendary pirate Davy Jones. This heritage has allowed my family to barely survive in the criminal underworld. I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse, but now I have a child. To protect my wife and child from any possible danger, I decided to send them both back to my homeland and told them to seek out the Davy Clan. I see. Your relatives and your current family are all in your homeland, and that place is God Valley. So, while Rox claimed he was going to God Valley to rescue Shakky, his true purpose was to save his own wife and child. Herald, moved by this, refuses to fight Rox and secretly lets him pass. The chapter ends with a stunning, panoramic view of God Valley on the day of the incident. After showcasing prizes like rare devil fruits, the announcer brings the grand prize onto the stage, Shakky. He declares that the winner will have the right to make her their wife, or their slave. The celestial dragons in the audience roar with excitement. Among the gods' knights, we can see a young Garling, Somas, and the long-haired Kunchi. The ribbon-wearing girl from the Mamamboshi family, seen in the Kuma flashback, is standing right next to Kunchi. Incredible, Somas! She's so beautiful! We must offer her to the shepherd family! Don't be ridiculous! If I win, she'll be my personal slave. She will be my wife. So don't even dream of getting near her. With you here now, we might just win the trophy in our family war. The camera cuts back to Dragon. He follows a trail of blood and finds the injured red-haired woman in a room. Please, she begs, take my children and get them off this island. Then, the scene shows a young Teach and his mother, locked in a cage. The mother comforts him. Teach will be fine. You both must survive. At the very end of the chapter, the announcer makes one final massive declaration to the audience. If you haven't heard of them, you've lived a sheltered life as a world noble. Besides the Buccaneer Brat, this competition features another super rare race. After 800 long years, they have finally reappeared in this world. The Davy Clan. The chapter ends there. No break next week. See you all next time.